Yes.
Okay.
Hey, I was just
I'm gonna keep this.
looking at your stocks and are taking a big hit there, so if you could, maybe you should sell. No, I realize it's a silly. Yes, as long as I know it's for our betters, but you have to understand when it comes to this work that I do, you just, you really
I'm so sorry to have kept you all waiting. First of all, I'd like to thank you for showing up this Saturday morning on such short notice. But I felt it was imperative that we address this issue immediately. This is the Treasury of the United States of America. My friends, this country is facing a financial struggle, and I believe that what we discuss here today will be a solid first step towards giving it the good hard kick in the rear end it needs.
Hear, hear. Mr. Secretary, in your email you mentioned a plan to change the monetary system, is that right?
The Deputy Secretary is half right. I do propose a change to the system, but not to the whole. Rather a tiny portion of the system. The tiniest, you could say, is what I believe we can confront in this room today and change our economy for the better. Forever.
Mr. Secretary, as the Director of the United States Mint, I will admit that any change to the structure of our monetary configuration it leaves me feeling a tad uneasy. But you do sound pretty confident. Please tell us your idea.
Thank you, Zach. And let me assure you, this will be well worth everyone's time and effort. Tell me, what do you see here?
A penny.
Very good, Mr. Undersecretary of the Treasury for Domestic Finance. What we have here is what's called a penny, or in technical terms, a 1-cent piece. And as our Madam Treasurer will attest, it has been costing this country a pretty penny for quite some time.
I'm glad you've brought this up. The U.S. penny as it is currently constructed is costing this country around twice what it's actually worth. In fact, in 2011, it peaked at a production cost of 2.41 cents per coin.
Yes, and in 2013, the U.S. lost an estimated $55 million just on the production of pennies.
That's quite a large number.
It certainly is.
You know, Canada, our northern neighbors, actually stopped making their pennies in 2012. My research shows that their citizens have been very supportive of this, and that the American people, as a whole, would be interested in supporting a similar approach.
That's very interesting, Mr. Undersecretary of the Treasury for Domestic Finance. So your idea is to abolish the penny. I think I can speak for everyone in this room when I say we are open to discussing that. It is an archaic piece of currency that I think we can do without.
Are you mad? I don't want to abolish anything. Ooh, what do I look like? The abolishable snowman? You think I just want to sit here and destroy American institutions?
Well, it just seemed like the road you were heading down.
Well, it wasn't. A Canadian idea. We are Americans. Since when have we ever listened to anything that's come out of Canada?
Brian Adams. Bare Naked Ladies? Did I misunderstand the question? Celine Dion.
Oh, I love that song from Titanic.
Me too. I can't believe Rose let go.
My apologies, Mr. Secretary. But if you don't want to do away with the penny, then what do you propose?
That is quite simple, my good man. I propose that we do everything in our power to make the United States 1-cent piece better.
Hear, hear.
By better, I assume you mean less expensive to produce. The penny's current ratio of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper can be altered by the Secretary of the Treasury, if it pleases the Mint.
Oh, it pleases the Mint very much.
This is good. This is very good. So let's talk about how we can make the penny cost less to produce.
No. I said better, not cheaper. You don't make a hamburger better by taking out some of the meat. You make it better by adding a crapload of cheese and bacon and gold.
I really don't think you should be eating gold.
The Undersecretary of the Treasury for Domestic Finance is right.
You chip a tooth?
No, I mean, sir, you can't really be planning on putting gold into the penny.
That is just the beginning. I plan to revolutionize the penny into a must-have item.
Hear, hear. Who is this guy? I've never seen him at any of these meetings before.
This is Sherman Punstock. He comes from a long line of revolutionary men. His great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, Dick Punstock, named everything from birds to beans. And his great-great-grandfather, Mad Dog Punstock, introduced steel chairs to professional wrestling. And his grandfather once met the guy from the diabetes commercials.
Wilfred Brimley. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I love oatmeal.
I was being sarcastic.
Oh, yeah, me too. Oatmeal sucks. Boo!
So what about Mr. Punstock himself? What's his game?
Sherman is in the business of creating knickknacks and trinkets, thingamabobs and doohickeys for display around the home.
Thingamabobs, doohickeys?
Yeah, I do doodads.
I asked Mr. Punstock here to create a sketch of a new penny based on what we collectively come up with.
I'm just a little confused. You want to make the penny out of gold?
For starters, yes. What you're all not getting is that the penny just isn't appealing enough. We make it out of solid gold. Gold. Then we make it bigger, brighter, bolder. My figures say that 99% of people will use the penny more, which will create an economic boom, the likes of which we have never seen before.
Sir, I've been crunching up the numbers, and I have to tell you that none of that even comes close to adding up, sir.
I have my own personal fact checker. Thank you very much.
Sir, I am your personal fact checker.
Well, then you better find some different facts, because this is happening.
But sir, surely you can't be serious. What was it that Zachary just said? We lost $55 million last year on the penny alone. Where could that money have gone? Social Security, healthcare, school systems.
Or it could go into making a super sweet coin. That would be the envy of the entire world. So, you know.
In the past, the public has been very quick to latch on to new coins in the short term. In the long term, success has been terribly rare.
The Undersecretary of the Treasury for Domestic Finance raises a good point.
Seriously, you all can just call me John.
How would we go about keeping the public excited about a new penny after word got out that it was going to be exponentially more expensive than the last?
Exponentially? Good word.
We're the government. If we say it's good for the country, then it's good for the country. Case closed.
But it's not good for the country. I can unequivocally guarantee that this is going to be a horrible idea.
Unequivocally. It's like a beautiful, fiery dictionary of awesome up there.
And I can guarantee you, Madam Treasurer, that this is the best idea this country has seen in decades. We're gonna make it out of gold. We're gonna blow it up really big. I'm talking like 3-4 times its current size.
That's ridiculous.
Absurd.
Is it ridiculous? Is it? Or is it the kind of genius thinking that puts a man in the history books and turns him into an unequivocal legend?
Sir, I don't think that making a really huge, expensive penny is how you want to be remembered.
I have my own biographer to tell me how I want to be remembered.
Sir, I am your biographer.
Well then, you will get to tell the story of how one man changed American finance forever.
Hear, hear. Look, if I could just put my 2 cents in here, I don't think that...
Hold on. Where is it?
Where's what?
Your 2 cents. You said you were going to put 2 cents in.
It's a figure of speech. As I was saying...
Oh, wait a second. You said you were going to put your 2 cents in. Go ahead and put your 2 cents in.
You're serious?
Put them in.
Okay. I have $8.
2 cents. 2 pennies.
Does anyone have change for this?
Cheapskate doesn't pay me enough to order off of a dollar menu.
I have a few quarters and maybe a couple dimes.
Oh, I have $50. Why the hell do I have to have dollars?
Okay, I found a penny. Can I just get one more? Come on, guys.
No change here. No change at all.
Thank you.
That's a loan.
Now, you may speak.
This is crazy. We're losing tens of millions of dollars every year on a coin which should have been disposed of years ago. And now you want to make it 1,000 times more expensive. What the hell is wrong with you? I think you need to take a look at the facts. We cannot afford a giant golden penny. Look, just needed to be said. That's all. I think that
You're fired.
you can't fire me. I'm an elected official.
You're fired. Get out. You're fired.
I was put
You're
here
fired.
by the
You're
people
fired. I'm not
for the
listening.
people.
I'm
You
not
cannot
listening.
fire
I'm
me.
not
You do not
listening.
have the
You're
authority. I'm an
fired.
elected
You're
official.
fired.
I'm very
You're
good
fired.
at my
You're
job.
fired.
You cannot fire me.
fired.
That's not
You're
possible to fire me.
Gentlemen, would you both just shut up for a minute?
You heard the lady. Shut up and let her talk.
Let me ask you something. Do you all hate the Beatles?
That's a dumb question.
Then answer it. Do you hate the Beatles?
Of course we don't hate the Beatles.
I like them.
Mr. Deputy Secretary,
They're an all-time great.
you down there. Beatles, thoughts?
I suppose I love them, sir.
Mr. Undersecretary of the Treasury for Domestic Finance?
Seriously, it's John. It's just John.
Oh, I don't know. It was just as much Paul and George, if you ask me.
Don't discredit Ringo. The drummer's very important.
The Beatles had a very popular song called Penny Lane. Now, if it were up to all of you, you would get rid of the penny. Oh, and then what? What would you call the song? Nickel Lane? That reminds me way too much of Nickelback, and that just makes me want to vomit. And what this means to me is that all of you, like Nickelback, a terrible Canadian rock band, instead of the Beatles, an American institution.
The Beatles were from England.
Excuse me, just so we're clear, you want this new penny 4 times bigger and made out of gold, right?
I'm glad you asked, Mr. Bunstock. We need to decide about the face of the new coin.
You are not replacing Abraham Lincoln. Talk about an American institution.
We need to freshen up the look. Abraham Lincoln is just too much 19th century. We need something better. This isn't your grandpa's penny.
Sir, the U.S. Mint objects to replacing President Lincoln. He was the first person to ever regularly appear on an American coin.
And I'm sure the American public would like to keep it that way.
Let me just go over some of the possible names to replace him. George Washington.
President Washington is already on the quarter, sir.
Okay then. Thomas Jefferson.
He's on the nickel.
But, okay, George Jefferson.
I don't think so.
George Clooney.
No,
George Foreman.
Sir,
Rocky Balboa.
that's not even a real person. He was played by Sylvester
Sylvester
Stallone.
Stallone.
No.
Sylvester the Cat.
Sir, permission to call you out for being silly.
Tyler Perry.
How did you get from Sylvester the Cat to Tyler Perry?
You tell me a cooler black cat than Tyler Perry.
You have problems.
Oprah Winfrey.
No.
Johnny Depp.
please, God, no.
Doug Sharp. Who? Jack Bauer.
No.
What about the beautiful Madam Treasurer?
Dear God.
Honey Boo Boo.
Just stop.
Penny Marshall.
No!
Penny from The Big Bang Theory.
No.
William Shatner.
He's Canadian.
What?
Samuel L. Catson. Come on, a cooler black cat than Tyler Perry? Samuel L. Catson?
New rule. Mr. Undersecretary of the Treasury for Domestic Finance is not allowed to talk anymore.
I would have gone with Lawrence Fishburne.
Can't we please Just let the penny go.
You want to abolish the penny, do you? Well, then tell me how you'd handle this situation. Rhonda,
Yes?
my water glass has been empty for quite some time now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take care of that for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Rhonda.
Thank you. Very, very much.
You tipped her a penny?
That is disrespectful.
No, that is a sign she gave me bad service. When someone gives you bad service, you give them a penny tip. That's how you get your message across.
You can't do that.
You're right. If we get rid of the penny, I can't do that. I have to send my message across in other ways. Rhonda.
Yes, sir?
You're fired.
You son of a bitch.
See? That's the world you're trying to create.
I'm pretty sure she was pregnant.
Oh, she is. You'd think she'd do a better job of trying to provide for her family. That was terribly irresponsible of her.
Okay, that's it. I can't take this anymore. You want to try to push some stupid idea at all of us? Fine. You want to try to turn yourself into some sort of American hero? Okay. But you don't treat women like that. Women are to be respected at all times. They are just as important as you or I, and they're not just objects for you to do whatever you'd like with. This is totally unacceptable, and I will not stand for it.
Take your hand off of my leg. If you don't, I will break it off, strangle you with it, and then mail it to your wife.
Why can't you just drop this silly idea and help us come up with something more plausible?
Something more plausible from you loafers?
Penny loafers.
Just think about it, sir. Think about how much the abolishment of the penny has helped Canada.
Canada. That's right. You could quote me on that. Put it in the biography. Canada.
Okay.
Canada! You're never gonna get away with this. No matter how dead set you are, there's no way you'll be able to pass this all the way up the food chain. There's no way the big man's going to be okay with a penny that would cost
About $488.
about $488 a piece. That is a 27,000% increase.
The U.S. would lose $1.5 trillion alone on pennies.
And that is not even taking into consideration the number of people who would just hold on to their rolls of pennies at $24,000 street value.
Guys, what about Meowcle Jordan?
Let me tell you all something you may not know. The Secretary of the Treasury is fifth in line to be President of the United States of America. Now, all I'm saying is that sometimes accidents happen, and sometimes 3 or 4 accidents happen.
Wait, what?
I'm kidding, of course. A penny for your thoughts, Deputy Secretary.
That's it. I'm kicking this guy's ass.
I would certainly like to see you try.
Sir, I really don't think you should try to fight him.
Excuse me, I have a personal trainer who tells me who I should and shouldn't fight.
Sir, I am your Screw it.
God damn it. Oh, Mayor, can I tell you something?
You know, he really did have this coming to him.
Speaking of guys having things coming to them, what do you say, you know,
You are married!
None of this adds up anyway. I mean, what do you think, Mr. Undersecretary of the Treasury for Domestic Finance? Holy! Ow!
All finished.
I love it. Actually, it's not too bad.
Boy, what a day. What a day. All I can say is I'm just glad I can come home and relax with my wonderful, understanding wife. So how was your day?
You fired me.
I have to make a point, sweetie.
Do you have to fire me at every meeting?
Why do you want to play with this butterfly when you can play with the stuffed daddy? Looks like it's just you and me, tiny me. I'm gonna be an American institution. Yeah, you are.